Alright, hey guys, Tempest Tries here, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. So I just kind of wanted to talk about the current state of PokeMMO. Now, it's not anything bad, it's more something to do concerning with, like, PVM and PvP. So, mainly just endgame content, but I'm here to talk today to you guys about legendaries being added into PokeMMO. As you guys right now know, just in case you guys were like, oh, well, what's Tempest talking about? He probably hasn't been playing PokeMMO for all that long. Here's my trainer card. I have beaten red. I have around just over 350 hours into the game. And yeah. So what about adding legendaries to Pokemon MMO? Well, it's kind of a complicated topic, and like the whole reason I got into PokeMMO was because the lack of legendary Pokemon. But now that seems to be changing as the devs have added in Suicune, Raikou, and Entei, with possibly more in the future. So because they're adding in trios, we could see the likes of Virizion, Cobalion, Terrakion, which that's gonna break PvP beyond repair. We could also see the genies, minus Enamorus, because Enamorus is a Gen 9 Pokemon, but you know, that's besides the point. So the thing is, with adding legendaries into PokeMMO, it increases the need to hunt for quills and rainbow quills, because legendaries, you can't breed them obviously, so to increase their IVs you need quills and mints. And the mints, well, you're like, oh, mints are good, right? Every Pokemon should be able to use mints. Well, that's the thing with PokeMMO, guys, is not every Pokemon has access to the mints. Only legendaries can use them. But you know, that's besides the point. That's just all like grinding and stuff, because that means like if you put in X amount of hours, you'll eventually get this Pokemon. Anyway, now for my personal thoughts on adding legendaries to PokeMMO. Personally, I'm a little torn. As a team builder, I love the challenge of coming up with fun, unique teams without the need to build in and around legendaries. And my major concern is Landorus and Landorus T and the genies. Now, if you guys don't know, the genies are some of the best prankster users in the game. Take a look at Gen 9 competitive, for example. Those Pokemon are kind of tearing up competitive play right now due to their utility. But aside from that, I really like the idea that PokeMMO is going to stick to the fact that legendaries were kind of a cool mini game where it was a King of the Hill style type of thing. And yeah, sure, legendaries are fun, but they can also be incredibly unfun for people who are just getting into the game. Can you imagine like going into Vermilion City and just seeing everyone there with a Raikou or a Suicune just following behind them? It kind of just takes, it actually already happens right now. It kind of just takes the specialness away from the legendaries if everyone has one. And personally, I think that's not very fun. I'm in the boat that I think we should be able to have fun. As far as legendaries come into play for PvP and PVM content, I'm sure your OU Ladder Sweats will be able to tell you how annoying Pressure Stall Rest Scald Suicune is on ladder at the moment. I'm a doubles player, so I haven't really seen too much Suicune or Raikou on the ladder, but I'm sure given enough time we'll start seeing more offensive builds of Suicune. Hey, so did you guys know that only 90% of my viewers who are actually watching this channel are subscribed? If you guys have already made it this far into the video, please be sure to hit that subscribe. It really helps out a ton, and get back to the discussion. Alright, so as far as PVM content goes for the legendaries, The problem with adding legendaries is, right, they're also gonna like, now that the devs have to balance certain events, like certain event bosses around legendaries, right, if they don't want their events to be completely slipped. And legendaries already have the innate advantage of having a 600 plus total BST usually. And so if you're always constantly balancing around that, where does that leave the rest of the Pokemon for events? And that's the problem. You can't just say, oh, you can't use legendaries for PVM or PvP. That kind of takes the point out of catching them, in my opinion, unless you're just purely a collector. So me personally, I don't like legendaries in PokeMMO. But I think being able to get them for your Steam decks would be really cool in a sort of like endgame type of way. Like, and let's get into that. So what do I want legendaries to be in PokeMMO? Well, in PokeMMO, and this is going to be spoilers for the Johto and the Sinnoh storylines, but in Johto and Sinnoh, in Sinnoh's case it'd be Giratina, and in Johto's case it would be Ho-Oh. Those Pokemon, they turned what is normally, oh, you just like throw the Master Ball, easy, done, we're good with it, into super cool triple battle boss fights. Now say, what if we did that for every single legendary in the game? Like, I know I'm not a dev and I'm sure it would take a while, but I personally think it would be a much better solution than like saying, oh, let's just ban legendaries from PvP and PVM. This is my suggestion, and if any devs are watching or willing to listen to my little rant on legendaries, I would love to see, so you know how most RPG fantasy games have like a boss rush mode or something like that? What if they made a custom boss fight for every single legendary in the video game, right? We just like put it into a tower for like endgame players, like the people who have made it to Mount Silver, or the people who are planning to go to Mount Silver, or the people who have been all the Elite Fours, right? We just do it as like, you know, a battle factory or like a separate area. We could even like put it in the Pokeathlon if they don't want to make Pokeathlon mini games. We just make a boss tower, like a tower boss rush mode where you just fight all the legendaries and it counts to your Steam decks. I think that'd be really, really cool. And it also solves the problem of like of us constantly arguing like if we should allow legendaries in PokeMMO. Like sure, like I mean, people will say, oh no, that's lame, I want to be able to hold legendaries, and you know what, that opinion is perfectly valid. But I think for the overall health of the game, not being able to catch legendaries is really good. Like the PokeMMO team already does a great job at balancing certain things. Like they removed Swords Dance from Garchomp, for example. They removed Draco Meteor from who's it, Hydreigon, and they like nerfed the shit out of Dragon Claw. Not Dragon Claw. They nerfed the shit out of Outrage, for example. Right, stuff like that. They do a decent job at balancing. So I just don't understand why we are having this argument when it comes to legendaries. So like, sure, legendaries are cool, they're fun, but me personally, I just don't want to see them in PokeMMO. It takes away the value of them. It makes it discouraging for people who are just getting into the game. Like, oh shoot, legendaries aren't really that special, and it'll make PvP and PVM overall worse, in my opinion. And yeah, that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video, and I'll see you guys next time.